In today's video on Roblox Tower Heroes, I'm going to be showing you 4 different types of decks which are the most common to use inside of Roblox Tower Heroes. These are going to help you a lot whenever you're playing with others or even by yourself. So let's go ahead and show you what they are. So when it comes to decks inside of Roblox Tower Heroes, you can have a total of 5 heroes inside of your deck. And even if we come over here to the menu button and press inventory right up here, we can scroll down to the very bottom and we can actually select some decks from whatever we choose. These are actually basically just presets. I made all of these just a moment ago to be able to show you guys some of the decks that you can use and just simply equip them or override them, whatever. That's a cool trick to equip heroes that you really want to use a lot in a short amount of time if you want to know that. But what I really want to be able to talk to you about today is that there are 4 different types of decks that you should use inside of Roblox Tower Heroes. That's right. You have the attack, you have the summoners, you have the solo, and you have the support. We will start by talking about the attack deck right up here first. So right here, I've got 3 different quote-unquote attack towers. I'm not sure if you want to really put Dumpster Child in that, but it does some good damage, so I'm going to put it there for today. But Branch does great attack, Hot Dog Frank does good attack, even the Cart Kid does some good attack. I'll explain why that's in here in just a second, because that's technically a summoner. We also have the Lemonade Cat as well, and like I mentioned a moment ago, the Dumpster Child as well. And the reason why this is in here right now, this Cart Kid, is by the time you place all of these heroes down, you're going to probably hit your hero limit at some point, but especially when you put 11 Hot Dog Franks down, if you can even do that. So you need something small that you can only place one of that's still going to do a lot of damage. That's why I put the Cart Kid in here. You could choose really any summoner like the Slime King or Oddport even. Now this is a deck that you want to use whenever you're playing with a lot of people. You don't want to use this type of deck when you're on a solo grind or something like that, because you don't have Spectre or the Balloon Pal. And those are 2 you definitely are going to need unless you're doing an all summoners deck, which we'll talk about in a second. Basically, when you can use this deck right here is when somebody in your server that you have already has a Spectre and a Balloon Pal in it. Next, let's talk about one of my personal favorite decks of all time to use. This is the Summoners deck. So right here is what a Summoners deck would look like. Right here in mine, I've got the Slime King, Haze, Cart Kid, Oddport, and the Spectre. Now you may be thinking, whoa, Super, that Spectre is not a summoner by any means. Well, did you know that actually Haze and Oddport have stats that actually do damage? That's right, Haze has crows that do damage, so the Spectre doubles that, and also Oddport does damage when it's close to an enemy, so that damage is going to double as well. So in essence, it's going to be like having double the amount of Hazes that you can place and double the amount of Oddports, which is very good. However, if you don't have these 2 towers right here, feel free to go ahead and replace those with something else like a Lemonade Cat or something like that. Now, when you want to use the Summoners deck, this is kind of one of those hit or miss kind of decks that you can have. Lots of times you're going to want to use this one when you have multiple people as well. I recommend no less than 3 people usually on some maps, depending on how hard it is or what mode you're doing. However, there are some maps like Corporate Chaos on easy mode that you can actually solo using this loadout right here. I made a video on doing that while we were grinding for the Corporate Chaos Mimic, or the Business Mimic, I believe is what it's called, right there in this video, so you can check it out right there. Well, hello there, friend. If nobody's told you yet today, you are seen, you are known, and you are loved by both Jesus and by me. And if you've been enjoying this video so far, please make sure to give it a like and even consider subscribing to Super Short Central if you enjoy Tower Heroes content. We also have a Roblox fan group down in the description below that I would love for you to go and join. The link for that's also going to be at this card right there. We also have some merch that you can access for there for your Roblox avatar, and some exclusive autumn merch, which is only going to be lasting until the 31st of this month, October of 2024. Those are only 7 Robux each, and don't forget to also go and check out our real life merch store as well. Link for that's going to be right here. But let's go ahead and continue to talk about these decks. But now let's go ahead and talk about another super popular deck. This is the solo deck, and this right here, my friends, is one of the most popular decks in the entire game, especially this exact loadout right here. This solo loadout consists of the Branch, the Scientist, the Lemonade Cat, the Balloon Pal, and the Spectre. Now this can be used on another map when you're playing with other people as well. However, I highly recommend to make sure that you are the only one who has the Balloon Pal and the Spectre. If somebody else has it, don't bother with bringing one unless it's a super huge map and you gotta place heroes everywhere. Then I'd recommend someone else bring a Spectre because the range on this one is limited. However, you can actually place 3 Balloon Pals, so you should be good with just one person having these. But what makes this deck so good, especially with this exact one right here, the Lemonade Cat is going to give you funds to be able to buy your towers, your attack towers. Branch and Scientist have always been super good in the game, and in my opinion, they still are. They're some of the top 3 in my opinion. And then the Balloon Pal and the Spectre are also overpowered as well by increasing the range by 50% at max and also increasing the damage by double at max. Another great example is this one right here. When it comes to a solo deck, we have 3 of the same towers as before because they're so vital. However, we do have Stella, which is a new addition, and we have the Slime King. Stella lots of times can actually just solo stuff on her own, so I mean it's not like that there's any big issue with just having one of her, or well, technically 3. And I recommend if you just want the ease of use, just bring a summoner like the Slime King or something to be able and help you out to be able to catch some of those enemies that may try and slip across the back or something like that. Now we're going to move on to our 4th deck, and also one of the rarest that we hardly see used but is super important sometimes. That is the Summoners deck. That's right, this deck consists of a lot of summoners in the game and even includes a Lemonade Cat. You could replace this if you wanted to with another summoner, or not summoner, I'm sorry, support like Bite. In fact, we may do something like this because a lot of times when you are bringing a support deck, you're going to be playing a pretty hard map with a lot of people. Basically what this deck right here is for helping other people, and in that helping process you're going to have a better chance of winning, because considering you have the Spectre and you have the Balloon Pal, that's going to leave extra space for everybody else to be able and bring attack towers. When you have something like the Bite or Lemonade Cat, whatever you choose to bring, the Maytake and also the Discount Dog as well, this is going to make everybody else's lives so much easier, and they can focus on attacking while you simply do the support. And even though this is kind of a lame job to be able and do, it really does help in the long run, and I think if more people helped other people by bringing something like this for their deck, it would really help everybody in the long run to be able to get more heroes and defeat more maps. But now that we've talked about all these decks, it's time to implement them into our gameplay. Just click one of these playlists right here on the side of your screen and let's show how these really are done. Again, click one of these videos on the side of your screen and let's have some fun.